What's up, family, friends, and foes? It's your girl, Philly Cigar Join, and today we have a special show. We have three individuals that are representing Generation Z. We're going to talk about everything from A to Z, you feel me? We're going to introduce our guests right now. We're going to start with Miss Spider-Man. You mind introducing yourself and telling the people a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Adrianna. I grew up in Delaware, and I'm a college student on my last year.
Congratulations. And next to you, who do we have?
My name is Jordan. I am Philly John's son. I'm 21.
You didn't have to say all that because you will not get special treatment on this show, young man, but keep going.
I'm 21 years old, and I'm also a college student.
Welcome, Jordan.
I'm Cynthia. I'm 22. I'm a nursing assistant and a cheerleading coach.
All right. Welcome, Cynthia, Jordan, and Adrianna. So we wanted to have this special show today because it's a lot going on in the world right now, right? And when you think back, based on your ages, I'm assuming that you were either a senior in high school or just coming out of high school when COVID broke out. And that really changed the dynamics of the social environment. So I want to start off with asking you all, what are your feelings about social media today? Like, what are the pros and cons? Let's start there. So anyone can jump in. What are the pros and cons of social media today?
Well, I think that social media can bring a lot of pros. Like, it allows people to network and express themselves, but also at the same time, it can lead to a lot of self-doubt in people. You know, a big thing you see now is people comparing themselves. Like, that's why I think stress is so high now, because people think, at least our age, think like they should have everything figured out at early 20s because they see their favorite, internet star is a millionaire at the age of 21, which just isn't the reality, but it can hold a lot of weight on people our age.
Excellent point. Cynthia, Adrianna, you want to jump in? What are your thoughts?
I feel the same. I think as well as that, but it also helps networking, keeping in touch, but I also feel like it makes us more disconnected in a sense. Like, we see each other, so we think that on our phones, so we think that that's enough to communicate with each other or check in a sense, instead of actually speaking to that person, picking up the phone, making time to actually hang out with people. And I know for me personally, I'm more let's hang out, let's talk in person, let's have a good time, rather than texting me or just a random phone call, because I like to interact with people more than just being over a screen. So I guess that makes me feel a little bit disconnected from people as well.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I feel like social media definitely keeps everybody connected in a way, even if you're not talking a lot. Like, my family or friends that live in different states, since I am in college, I can't see them during breaks. It's nice that, I get to see their updates on social media, but also it is very disconnecting because, sometimes I'll stay in my room for long periods of time and just, not really talk to anybody, but I'll see what they're up to, and
I agree. So I think you all made some valid points. So that brings me to my next question. Dating. And I'm going to be honest. I could not be a young adult dating in this environment today. It's just, to your point, everybody trying to outdo one another, live these fake lifestyles. Because let's be real. People, I got a little backlash because I said instead of Facebook, it's Facebook. But I said that, and I'm not saying everyone, but you can really be anybody or anything you want to be behind that computer. So people are confused on what's real and what's not. So, and I want to take this to the young ladies, Adrianna and Cynthia. Let's talk about dating in this environment. How are you dealing with dating, and how's it going?
So me personally, I don't date anymore, but
no, you're too young not to date.
I'd rather focus on other things.
Okay.
But simply because I feel like when it comes to dating and social media within that, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have more options than they really do. And me personally, like, my options are the people that I'm passing on a regular basis, the people that, like, that I'll see at the grocery store, see on, like, while I'm working, because I work in a lot of different spaces. So it's like, I don't really think to be like, oh, let me go on Instagram and find somebody that's outside of my normal crowd, or, like, people that I don't really see like that, because when we come together, this person that I met that's used to doing all those other things when I'm used to working my jobs, like my hobbies and with my friends, like, they're not going to be used to what I'm doing. They're not technically my option because they were never fitting into my life in the first place. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't like the social media date because I already know that these people are not going to fit into my life already because of what I already have going on. So it just doesn't make sense. And I just don't feel like looking at multiple options over a screen when it's not really who they are or, like, what they do. Because, I don't know, I've had, like, some pretty crazy dating experiences.
Oh, we're going to get into that too. Okay, let's pause right there. So, since you're not fond of the social media dating, how do you meet individuals? Like, how do you engage when you are in that dating realm?
So most times, like, I'll date people that I'm, like, familiar with, like, people that I've already crossed paths with, like, in life already. Like, say we went to school together, we did activities together, so that it makes me feel more comfortable, like, talking to these people, because I'm also not good with strangers. So, like, it just makes me feel more comfortable already speaking to somebody I've already had a conversation with. So that's also easier. But that doesn't always work out for me. So then it's like I'll meet people, like, going out with my friends if we do, like, something small, like, but I usually don't go out looking for, like, somebody to, like, talk to, because I'm more so, like, enjoying myself with my friends. But it's better when you cross paths with someone and it's organic and you're friends with that person first anyway. So I never really stress the fact of, like, trying to find somebody that I'm attracted to. I'm really just, like, letting things flow and seeing who's going to be a cool friend to me before anything else happens. So that's how I operate now, considering, like, I want something that's, like, more, like, I don't know, more intentional, like, something that's actually going to last rather than just, like, a fling. So I'm looking for a friend before I'm looking for anything else. So, yeah.
I love that approach. So, Miss Adrianna, what about you?
I feel like it's different between us only because since I am in college, I do see a lot of people on a daily basis, or even through college, just a lot of networking. So I do meet people very often, but I've noticed that a lot of people my age only want one thing. They don't really want a relationship. Right. They would rather have, like, a situationship, which is you kind of act like you're together, but you're really not, and you can just do whatever you want, which I'm not really with.
Right.
I don't agree with that. So, I mean, yeah, it's just, it's not a good dating scene in terms of looking for what you want, because you won't find that.
So let me flip it and give the male's perspective. So Jordan, what about you? What are your thoughts with the dating scene today?
I don't know. I just feel like at our age, especially, like, in college, everybody's, like, nobody's really prepared. It's very rare to find people who actually want to be in a real relationship. Like Adrianna said, it's a lot of situationships. And I feel that, because it with all the stress that's already going on, it's hard to admit that you want to be in a full committed relationship with somebody. So, but also with that, I feel like a lot of people just aren't honest nowadays. Like, that's how people get played a lot. So, it's tough, like, especially as a guy, because, I got, I'm got a couple homegirls, so they let me know on how, the game is played sometimes, and I let them know how it is for guys. So it's hard to really, if you want to take someone serious, it's hard to tell if they feel the same way or not, or for them, is this just a fling for them? Because, like, for example, I could be, if I take a girl out on a date, that means I'm actually interested in you and actually interested in potentially moving forward. But for that girl, this can just be a free dinner. So I think that's the hard part as a guy, really trying to figure out, like, are they truly interested in me, or are they just interested in the time, So right now, I'm not currently, looking for anything, especially, like, I'm close to graduating. I don't know what's next in my life, so I'm focusing on me. But whenever I get to that point, I don't know. I agree with Cynthia. I don't like social media dating. I like, meeting someone in person, because like we said, social media, you could be whoever you want. You can come off as somebody that I'm really interested in, but we go out, I realize like, yeah, you're not the same person at all. So yeah, dating it's a very weird, confusing area right now.
So let me ask you all this, and I want y'all to really have a dialogue around this. It's, to your point, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure that you all face today. From, again, social media, jobs. Like you said, you got 18-year-olds now that's making $1 million+ sometimes a month, not a year. You have these social media, what you call them, stars. I'm just going to say stars.
Yeah,
so you have that, and then you have the reality of life, right? Like how you really navigate in a real world. So how do you deal with those pressures as a Generation Z individual?
I feel like, I don't know if we actually kind of just handle it. I feel like we're just kind of trying as we go, considering like we're in our 20s. We're literally just trying to figure out life as we go. Like, I know it's like, for me, like I have the pressures of like my family. I have pressures that I put on myself. Like, and like, you see people and they're like starting their families early, which is early in our 20s to start a family. But like, I know like back then, like for my mom, it was like normal to start your family in your 20s. So like my mom is like, just hoping that like I'll find something or someone so that I can start my family. But that's in like farthest in the back of my head. But like, I know that's what she wants for me. So like thinking about that, it's like, but I want to do this. Like, I'm like, I don't have like the capacity to even think about that right now. But I know that's like, it's like one of those pressures. And then it's like the pressures of like, trying to further your education. And it's like with them being in school, I'm like envious of them because I'm like, yeah, like I want to do that. Like I'm building myself up to do that. But then I have like bills to pay, and then it's like a lot going on. But I always have to make sure like you got
grown folks stuff.
Yeah.
Adulting. It's called adulting. Yes.
It's real crazy.
Yeah.
But we just kind of do what we got to do. I don't know.
No, yeah, definitely. And I just had to realize that, especially with school, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I'm going to be honest, I'm clocked out of school. The goal for me is just to get the bachelor's and get out, I used to put so much pressure on me, like, oh, I got to graduate by this time and I got to, have this GPA and blah, blah, blah. But I got to be honest with myself. And it took me a minute to be honest with myself, that, I got to go at my own pace. I got to do what's truly best for me. I can't worry about other people's opinions. And I think that stimulates from even when I was young, like the opportunities I've been given, I feel like it's a lot of expectations. But that's just what I think of myself because I have high expectations. But, I got to figure out what path is right for me, not what I think is right for others of me. So, yeah, I'm just figuring out, I put a lot of pressure on myself, of course, but, it takes some time and, once again, being honest. Because, like you said, nowadays, you got people who are 21 years old, being millionaires, by just setting up a camera and doing whatever. And it's like, dang, like
I could do that, but that's not my passion.
Right, yeah. So.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, or like what Cynthia said, once I finished like my last year of high school, it was like people were already getting engaged. Some of my friends already have children.
Same.
And I don't know. Me, I'm not thinking about that at all. Like, once I finish school, I have more school. So I'm currently focused on that and then life afterwards. I feel like that's something that I'll do when I'm established. But since they're already getting it out the way, I sometimes feel like I'm behind. Or like my friends who are already getting houses and apartments.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I know
that's like a big commitment
Yes.
for us nowadays, especially because of the way the economy is right now.
Yes.
Like, it's even harder because, like, I'm a nursing assistant. I make good money, but it's still challenging to live based off of the salary that I have. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I could do it, but I don't want to struggle. Like, and I know that, like, other people in my position who even work at the same job that I do, like, they still struggle, and I just don't feel as though Like, we make more than minimum wage, and we're still struggling to pay, like, the base rent here. Like, it's just crazy to me. So it's like, it's frustrating to see, like, other people doing it, but you have to realize that they're doing it with someone else.
Yes.
Right. And it's like, you know, like, when people do it by themselves, it's because, you know, they might have other things going on as well. But when you're trying to go back to school, you're trying to pay off medical bills, you're trying to do all the grown stuff that not every person has to do in their 20s. Like, some people have parents that are just like, oh, I'll do everything for you. You don't have to worry about that. Just do this and I'm going to help you. No, most of us have parents that are like, okay, let's be independent. Let's figure this out on our own, you know, building us up to be able to be these independent adults once we go out into the world. So it's just like hard trying to see, like, seeing that, and you know, those people have like people behind them doing a lot of stuff for them, rather than when you see yourself doing it, you're like, okay, this is what I have to work with because this is what I have, not what someone else has. So it's really just trying to get out of that mindset of, okay, this is what this person is doing, I feel like I should too. But it's like, even with the people who started having kids or getting engaged after high school, their parents are still under their parents' roof with a kid. And me personally, when I have a kid, I know that I wouldn't want to live with my mom. I would want to be able to be established on my own with that person, because I would prefer to be married when I have a kid. Like, those are the things that I see myself step by step doing things, because I feel as though that's what I would want for myself. It's really just about trying to get all of that out of your head and realizing, like, what your priorities are, what you want, because ain't no way I'm going to be married before I have a kid.
And I appreciate that. I love the honesty and really just being authentic, because you have to be authentic to yourself, right? You can't go around pleasing other people. And this is what I tell Jordan all the time. Don't worry about what anybody else wants for you. What, even if it's me, your dad, you have to live your life. And I always say this even to my best girlfriends when they're, you know, struggling with making decisions. I say, look in the mirror. Who do you see? I say, you see you. Okay, who is the one person that's with you 24/7 and is going to be there for the rest of your life? You, right? So you need to start thinking about you, what you want to do. Don't worry about what, you know, Jane wants you to do, John, Lamar, whoever. You are the one you have to be the captain of your own life. You have to be the narrator of your own life. So with that being said, and you know, did anybody else want to chime in on that conversation?
I would just say what basically you were saying, you know, basically looking at other people, how they got their life set up early. I ain't gonna lie, I'm the typical broke college student. Like, yeah,
He broke.
Yeah, I definitely.
He like Jalen broke. Oh, Jalen broke. Remember that little video with the little boy?
Yeah,
Jalen broke.
Mom, yeah, you probably expect, like, you know, a call probably once every 2-3 weeks. Gotta get a little loan. But it's funny because I be, you know, as I get closer to graduating, you know, moving forward, because I don't plan on getting my master's. As soon as I get my bachelor's, I want to go straight into work. And so I start looking at apartments. I'm like, how am I going to come up with $1,000 a month? I'll be stressing about gas prices now.
Yes. And I fill up my tank every week.
Oh,
yeah.
every week.
Like
I have to.
It's scary. It's scary growing up, but it's like it's good to have a support system, but also, you know, you want to do stuff on your own. Like, you know, that's why I'm glad I have a hustle mentality, where it's like, you know, because I don't want to keep calling asking for favors. I want to do stuff on my own, you know. So that definitely come in handy. But yeah, when you look at those big numbers, like, you know, housing and, you know,
like
grocery shopping.
After I get my bachelor's, I definitely want to get my master's. But it's like, once I finish my bachelor's, I'm going to have to start paying back for getting my bachelor's. And then if I'm getting my master's too, it's the same thing right after. I'm going to have to start paying for my master's right after that. And during that, I'll have to have my big girl job, as well as start paying for everything else, looking for houses, it's just a lot.
It
a lot.
is.
And I don't know if I'm prepared.
Yeah, that's a scary part.
So, and that's, I love that you all are thinking about the necessities in life, right?
Oh, yes.
Because you have some young women your age and even younger, they're thinking about, okay, what next sucker gonna take me to get my hair done, my nails done, before he take me on my first date, and this whole thing with the dating with you. To me, I think social media has given a lot of women, not gonna say a lot, some women, a false high sense of self-worth. And let me just explain what I'm saying, because everyone has self-worth and you should believe in yourself. But when you start asking a dude to take you to these 5-star restaurants, and prior to, well, you want to have to get my hair done, my nails done, what type of society are we living in? Like, what type of society we're living in, to the point where we have these young women, and no offense, because a lot of them, they're struggling, but then they put all these pressures on men for the first date. Like, what are y'all thoughts around it? Because to me, that type of stuff blows my mind. The audacity of it.
I think, to be honest, I think a lot of it come from, once again, social media and celebrities, like, music. And like with, it's a lot of female rappers, blah, blah, coming out and stuff like that. And so I think some people get too stuck on their character as an artist, and they truly start taking it as their own truth, when it's not that at all. Like, why be seeing posts where girls be like, oh, the minimum a guy got a mate to mess with me gotta be $100,000. Like, not knowing that the average cost that people bring in is like $30,000, $40,000. So when I hear stuff like, and then they be young, they be like 21, where they barely have anything of their own. So, I mean, luckily I haven't had to deal with that. I haven't had like a random girl that I talked to for 2 days talk about, oh, I need nails done. I don't even know you. Do you even got my contact saved? But yeah, like, it be posts where girls will post the messages and the guy's number don't even be saved, like asking for nails to be done. But I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of signs before that even get to that point. So,
all right, let me pause you there. So this is for the guys, though. I'm going to get to you, Cynthia, Adrianna. So what are the signs, though? Because they need to hear this.
The signs, it's a lot of red flags. First of all, it's a lot of red flags. Once again, like, I swear, I'm going to keep repeating, social media is such a big thing. Like, how stuck they are on social media. Like, if you're flustered that you're not getting enough likes on something, or if you crave attention from people online, basically, like, you won't be attracted. Like, let's say a guy sends a fire emoji or a heart eye emoji, right? And you're not attracted to him, but you keep the conversation going because it make you feel better about yourself. That tells me about like why do you do that? Like, do you need his compliments to make you feel better about yourself? So that's one. I'll say another one. I don't know. Me personally, I don't like when girls be like, their friendships are legit only built off of being pretty. Because like, it be girls that be friends with other girls who are like bad friends to them, but they're like, oh, she's pretty though. What do you mean by that? Like, and then you get your feelings hurt because one day you might find out that you're the so-called unattractive one in the group. Yeah, let's just say that. But I'll say that's another red flag. And then I don't know. It's just like, it's small things. It's small things like how you carry yourself in public, but you can't always go based off of that. But there's certain people, like, if you can see how they carry themselves in public, like attitude wise, how they talk to other people. Like, it's just like, why? Like, that's so unattractive to me. Like, you're being rude to someone who wasn't rude to you. Like, I just don't get that. So it's a couple of red flags out there.
Okay.
The fact that I agree with those is so funny because being friends with girls, you do realize like those like red flag behaviors that they do like as friends and how they like show up in their relationships. And it's just like really crazy, especially when he said like the male validation type thing. Like, I've been friends with girls because me personally, like, I'm friends with everybody. So like when it comes to like being friends with guys, I can be friends with guys and it not be anything besides friends. But then you have those friends that like have to be romantic with every guy that they know, or like, and so like it's frustrating when they're like, oh yeah, we were friends, but now I'm talking to him, and you're just like, well, why would you do that? Like, that's supposed to be your friend. Why would you not just keep the friendship instead of making it something that it didn't have to be, knowing that you weren't even trying to do that with that person in the first place? Like, and then you just realize that this is their pattern, but then you realize that they move from person to person. So then it's just like none of their situations are ever gonna be anything besides surface level. And then
A situationship.
right, and then you just feel bad for those guys that they like interact with, because you already know it's not gonna last long. You just don't know how it's gonna end, if it's gonna end badly, if it's gonna end okay. Because if the guy ends it, it's like, okay, they're fine, but it's always messy on the other side. And then as a friend, you just like watch. Like sometimes you just don't want to do that no more. I don't know. You also have to watch for those girls who always are losing friends really easily.
Oh yeah.
Because, like if you can't keep your friends, that's a problem, shawty. Like I don't know.
Facts.
Yeah, and the crazy part is like when I see girl friendship, I always make jokes about girls and like female friendships. Cause I'm like, y'all be having beef forever over the smallest things. Like
that, you know what? A girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
look, with guys, like we could legit have a whole fist fight, and then 30 minutes later we playing the game together.
I'm not gonna lie, I do see that's kind of wild. That's
For real.
wild.
Cause like,
His fight.
yeah, like I've seen it's happen. Like some guys literally
And the crazy
legit.
part is I've seen it too. Like,
Yeah, like some guys legit become friends. I actually became friends with a guy back in middle school because we fought. It was like a whole incident.
Didn't know about that.
Yeah, because it got broken up real quick, but we ended up being cool friends. It's weird, but that's why it's so funny to hear girls. They be like, "Oh, she acting weird." How? I don't know. She just moving funny, and then it's beef forever. It's like y'all can talk. Y'all
And
can
Cardi
make up.
B.
I can say that
Yeah.
though. Like most times when it's just like that, it's most likely one-sided beef, and the other person is literally just at peace with whatever happened. Because it's like some girls know that they did certain things wrong within a friendship or a relationship, so then to make themselves feel like they didn't do anything wrong, they have to make it seem like they got done wrong so that they can be angry at the other person instead of accepting what they done wrong, just because of, you know, people's traumas, their generational curses, whatever. But most times it's really not even like two-sided beef. It's one-sided because the other person can't accept that what they did was wrong. So
Very much so. I feel like, me personally, I don't have an issue with anybody. I feel like if you have an issue with me, there's something going on with you.
No,
Because
really.
So you don't do beef, huh? You
No,
say
not
that's
at
not
all.
in your
I don't have
DNA.
time
For
for
real.
beef at all. Like, what's the reasoning? I feel like
Especially
if you have
not
an issue with
now.
somebody, you can talk about it.
And see, the one thing is though, like what I've realized with like friends, because I've gone through like some friends that like really just struggle with communication skills, and it didn't really affect me until like it did, because you know it would affect their relationships, and I would just be like, okay, well, I ain't got nothing to do with me. But you know, when it affects their actual romantic relationships, it affects their friendships as well.
Yeah.
So like, it's like if they have terrible communication skills, there's no having that conversation. Because you can be like, hey, this bothers me, and they're going in full defense mode. There's no conversation. There's no like solving the problem. There's nothing. Like they'll just be mad and just attack you because they don't feel like they're wrong in any circumstance. And most times, like, I don't even feel like dealing with that. Most times I'll just be like, you know what? I'm not even feeling this right now. You know, no bad blood. I just don't want to be friends anymore. And
So let me ask you this, and this is a question for all of you. And let me know if you have, well, it sounds like you may have experienced this, Cynthia. But how do you deal with friendships where, you know, for me, I'm a true blue friend. My circle is really small, right? So that's how I roll. I have a tight circle. If you're my bestie, whatever, they know I got you. Right. It doesn't matter. But you have some friends, and you know, other people normally see it before you see it, where it's a one-sided friendship. Like they're only friends with you because they know the benefits of being a friend with you. And then people tend to see that before you, because in your heart of hearts, you know, well, I'm a good friend. Like you don't see everything what other people see. But then when you have numerous people telling you the same thing, your eyes open wider. You listen in a little closer, and then you start to see the things that the other people are talking about. So have you ever experienced that where you've been a true friend to someone and just to find out they were only friends with you for the benefits?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so I don't really make many friends, so I usually try to keep like the same ones, but sometimes like I'll make other friends, but it's like kind of going back to what Jordan was saying earlier about like girls making friends with people simply because they think that they're also pretty. Like a lot of times like girls want to hang out with you because they also see the attention that you're getting and they want to have that attention too. So they'll try to tag along with you. They'll try to be your friend. They'll try to let people know that y'all hang out so that, you know, so that the people that they're interested in won't try to talk to you or like just like backhandedly trying to be your friend. So like I've had that a lot. Honestly, at first you never really, like you said, like you never really see like the signs either until after or until people start pointing it out. And so like most for me it was like after, because I'm like, you know, I would explain my situations to people and they'd be like, you know, it was weird when they did this. And I'm like, you know, I never really thought about it that way, because when you think of someone as your friend, you never really think of them trying to do anything like backhanded to you. So you're just like trying to think of them as like the best person, because that's how I think about myself as a friend. Like if you're my friend, I'm ride or die for you. You let me know something happened, we can go solve it. You need me, it's late at night and you're in a budge, I'm there. Like just let me know, like I got you. But it's not the same for other people. But that's also how I was raised though. Like I'm just a mama bear, like when it comes to my friends or people that I care about. Like I go crazy for the people I love. So I don't know, it's just sad that like it's never reciprocated when it's like with me. But now I'm just like, I'm gonna just stay with the people that actually like reciprocate it when I need it, you know. But I don't know, it's very weird.
I was gonna say probably the only time I think I went through that is probably high school, and it's more so because like when my friend, I'm the type of person I want to see all my friends succeed. Like if there's a way, if we have similar interests and there's a way I can help you out, I will. So I know in high school I wanted to play college football, so I did everything I was supposed to do. I set up a Twitter account. I messaged hundreds of coaches trying to get a response. I ended up getting a good connection with Delaware State. I told my friends, you know, who I was, you know, cool with. I'm like, listen, I'm going down. Y'all should come with me. Gave them all, like, listen, this is the rundown. This is how you do it, blah, blah. And then when they don't take the opportunity to go through it, and I actually ended up getting the opportunity to play college football. So all of a sudden, I'm midway through the year. They calling me, yo, I'm trying to come Del State. Like, I gave you all the tools. What are you talking about? Like, I gave you all the opportunity. So it kind of like, I'm not going to say it hurt, but it disappointed me, because I'm not going to lie. When you look at some of my friends, like, they definitely had way better chances of playing college football than me. And it hurts, like, what disappointed me when I'm finally doing it, now you want to be serious about it. So, it's less so of, like, the actual friend thing, but it's more so, like, the fact that you're calling me about that, it's like, you're only reaching out to me now because you see where I'm at.
You see the benefits of your connection.
Exactly.
The connection to you.
Right. And it's just like, I tried to get you where I'm at, but you didn't care enough. But now that you see, like, my work has paid off, now you want to come back, call me, and try to ask me to put you on. Like, no, I tried to.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced it myself, but I'm always the person, like, when my friends make a new friend and I notice it, I'm always letting them know, because I don't want to see them going through that. I've seen, like, when it happens over time, it makes someone feel like just really down bad. Yeah. And I don't want to see it get to that point. So once I see it starting, like once I see them kind of like leeching on and always asking for things, I definitely let them know, because
you're a good friend.
Yeah,
I feel like it's more hurtful to like realize that your friend isn't really your friend than to lose like a significant other, if you really want me to be like completely honest. I never really cared about like relationships, especially because I'm young. Like that's really not my priority. But like when it comes to my friends, like when I see my friends, I think about like that's the family that I'm trying to build for like my kids that have like those aunts and uncles that are not related to them, but those are your aunts and uncles. Like that's what I'm trying to build. But it's like when people like constantly like show me that they're only here because they want me to be their personal therapist or they want to be in the spaces that I'm in, it's just really frustrating because I'm like, yo, I wanted you to be like the aunt or uncle to my kids, like, and you're showing me that you was never my friend in the first place, and it really just hurts because the time I put in, it's just like, dang, like,
Yeah, because you were genuine. You were a true friend. So we're going to wrap it up, but I want to thank you all for coming on and really just sharing yourselves with the world and really dropping some really good jewels. So before we leave, what would you say to your peers, like Generation Z, because it's a lot on your shoulders in the world today? What advice would you give a Gen Z that's watching right now?
Oh, okay. I would say focus on yourself. Do not focus on what's going on around you. Do not focus on the parties that are going on right now. If you're like, get your money up, get your education done, and then worry about the extra things going on because that's what's important.
I would just say to remember at the end of the day that you're the main character of your own story. You know, whether you like it or not, everybody else is just side characters, so you got to focus on yourself. All that other nonsense, it will come, but, you know, also remember, like, the age that we're at now, this is setting up our future. So just always remember that.
Also, your family is your biggest support system. No matter what anybody says to you, like your blood relatives, the person who raised you is your biggest support system. No matter if y'all on bad terms, you gotta make sure you get on good terms because those people are your forever, like no matter what. So always make sure you got your family right next to you because you ain't gonna get through it without them.
I love it. That was excellent advice from everyone. So once again, I just want to thank you all, Adrianna, Jordan, Cynthia, for sharing time and coming on Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos. And before you leave, tell the world what is the hottest podcast out there today.
Sticks, Brims, and Stilettos.
All right. And with that, we're going to take a wrap.